In this video, we're going to show you how to turn these cucumbers into the most awesome bread and butter pickles you've ever eaten. Let's get started. The first thing we want to do is remove the ends from off of these cucumbers and slice them up into slices, roughly between an 1/8 inch and a 1/4 inch thickness. Doesn't have to be perfect, just normal pickle size. Now we are using a pickling cucumber. These we've grown in our garden and they are specifically for pickling, and it does make a difference because these are very firm cucumbers which make nice crunchy pickles. So you want to get them all sliced up and put into a bowl. You're going to need about 16 cups of sliced cucumbers for this recipe. After you get them into a bowl, you want to take 3 onions, either white or yellow onions, either one, doesn't matter, and you want to peel the skins off of those and then dice them up into pretty good sized chunks. You can also do slices if you want to eat them and along with the pickles, because they're going to be in the jars with the pickles. So you want to slice your onions up and put those in with the cucumbers in the bowl. Next, you want to get some ice and put into the bowl with the cucumbers. I would say probably about 6 or 8 cups of ice would be fine, and then fill it up with water, and that's going to allow this to chill the cucumbers and make them a lot crunchier as well. Next, you want to add a 1/2 cup of salt, just regular old table salt. Works fine for this, or if you prefer sea salt. You want to add that to the mixture, and then you want to sit that aside and let it chill for 3 hours. Once the 3 hours is up, you can go ahead and drain all of the water off of the cucumbers and onions into the sink and get rid of that, and they are fixing to be ready to go into the mixture. Now these are the seasonings that we're going to be using, which are cloves, mustard seed, and turmeric, along with vinegar and sugar. The recipe goes as such. It's 5 cups of white granulated sugar, 5 cups of white distilled vinegar, 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard seed, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, and 1 teaspoon of whole cloves. Once all of the ingredients are in, go ahead and turn the fire on high, and you're going to want to bring this mixture to a boil. Once the mixture is boiling, go ahead and add your cucumbers and onions into the mix. This is going to cool down the mixture quite a bit, which is totally fine. The key here is you want to get all of the cucumbers submerged into the liquid, so you will have to stir it a few times until it's ready to go. You don't want to bring it back to a boil. You want to get it back to almost the boiling point, but you do not want it to boil. So just mix the cucumbers in, give it a few minutes, mix them in again, and as the mixture warms up, you're going to notice the cucumbers are starting to turn more of an olive color, which is what you normally see in a pickle. You can see these here are already starting to turn. We're going to stir them one more time, and this usually takes about 10 minutes for this process. Once all of the pickles have turned the olive color, they are ready to go into cans. So you want to turn your fire off and get it off of the stove, and go ahead and get ready 4 quart-sized jars to put all of these in. You can do this with a ladle or a slotted spoon. Either way, it doesn't matter. You just want to be careful because the mixture is pretty hot. It's easier to go ahead and put the pickles in by themselves without the juice and then come back later and add the juice. You want to leave about 1 inch or 1.25 inches of headspace between the top of the pickles and where the lid will be. Then just repeat the process until all 4 jars are filled. I forgot to mention, but I will drop the recipe down into the video description below if you're interested. We did not come up with this recipe on our own. It actually came out of a Mennonite cookbook. The next step is very key to having a successful can. So you want to take a paper towel with vinegar and you want to wipe down where the top of the rims of each jar, where the lids are going to seal. Otherwise the pickle juice will get in there and the lids will not seal correctly. So make sure you get it wiped very, very well. And then go ahead and put your lids on. Just like canning anything else, it's super easy. Put the lids on finger tight. You don't want them to be on too tight, but you also don't want them to be super loose because these are going to be fully submerged. Now we used our pressure canner for this. Pressure canner is not required. This is a water bath can. Which basically means you want all of the jars to be fully submerged and about 1.5 inches of water over top of the lids. Once you get all your jars in to the water, go ahead and turn the fire on. Like I say, we put the lid on just to help speed this process up to get it to boil. And you're going to want to turn this on high to bring it to a boil. And as soon as it starts boiling, you want to let it go 15 minutes exactly and then turn it off. Once they've cooled some, you can go ahead and remove the cans carefully out of the water bath. This is very hot water, of course, so you want to be very careful. Lift the jars out straight up. You don't want to tip them side to side because if the juice runs out the side, it'll mess up your seal. You just want to sit these someplace safe to where they can cool off for 24 hours. And just like that, you have the most amazing tasting bread and butter pickles.